For reals, if it wasn't for PBS, I probably wouldn't have known my ABCs. I'm Terrance Roberts, born and raised here in Denver, Colorado. I am a mayoral candidate. I'm also a community organizer. I am a property inspector, residential and commercial, and I just like to organize, make sure that people get justice, feel good. I like to have fun, go out, have a couple drinks, hang out with my friends. I like to do my push-ups every now and then, go on a walk around Cheeseman Park, Wash Park. I don't know, watch a good Bronco game. They're terrible this year, but I still love the Broncos. Watch a good Nuggets game. I'm just a Denverite. I'm just a Colorado guy. I went from being an honor roll student in Park Hill to when Crips and Blood started in the mid 80s, going into the early 90s. We had the Summer of Violence in 93. I was shot in my back in the Summer of Violence. I joined the Park Hill Bloods, so it was our local street gang at the time. In 1990, I was 14 years old, and it was really more like a means of survival because we had other kids from other communities surrounding Park Hill, mainly like west of Park Hill, like kids on the 5 Points. It was always a competitive thing. These were the two African-American communities in Denver that were the most historical. I would say the 5 Points is the most historical. I grew up in Park Hill. It's a little bit removed from downtown, but also that became an African-American enclave, Northeast Park Hill, and a war happened. We have a youth war still happening in the city, and that's really one of the reasons why I'm running for office, because we don't hear any, we have a lot of municipal candidates. It seems like people are afraid to say youth war. I'm the only municipal candidate in America right now who also, I was a validated gang member at the time, and I was involved with youth violence and getting incarcerated. I was watching PBS in jail with a bunch of gang members, and I Have Been to the Mountaintop came on, and it was a documentary about Martin Luther King, and I was sitting in the Denver County Jail. And I heard that, and I was like, what the heck am I doing just with my life? And I was just sitting there, I was sitting in jail. I was going to prison for years. I went and did a number of years after I changed my life in prison. I became a community organizer. But I was like, I want to represent Park Hill like Martin Luther King. I want to be on PBS one day for helping somebody, not because I robbed someone and you guys have to talk about how much of a gangster I was. Historical, resilient, and cool. It's a cool city. Three words that describe me. I'm resilient. I'm analytical. And man, this is kind of an on-the-spot question. And I'm caring. I care about people. Sometimes too much. It's gotten me into some trouble, but I do care. I'm gonna say Jesus Christ, because I'm not a religious person. I don't like sitting in church. Even if Jesus isn't real, I always say this, even if he's not real, I would rather represent fake Jesus than real so-and-so, okay? But I do believe Jesus is real. And like I said, I'm not a preacher, I'm not a religious person, but I believe, I got Jesus tattooed up. I covered my gang tattoos, because I used to have gang tattoos all on me. With the second coming of Jesus on my right arm, and then with angels on my left arm. When I got out of prison, I was just like, we're gonna help people, however we gotta do it. I don't have the millions of dollars, but I started a 501c3 and we started raising money, and it just grew. So it wasn't like I had a plan to have these things happen. It just all happened organically, and I just kind of just stepped up the best I could. You know, did the best I could with that little 501c3. All you need is a mustard seed sometimes, and you just never know. Man, I think Denver has really built itself up to be a world-class city.